The goal here is to present you a bit Brainwave and how Brainwave can help to enrich the data quality you can collect on the data sources in the goal to prepare the migration of the financial division into an NIM system. And this way I can show you in 10 minutes how we can work on this data quality to be able at the end to export all the access of people belonging to this organization into the IAM system. So let's move on. So here, just to show you, I will log out. But this is the tool. So this is the interface where we can have access to everybody. So let me just log in to show you that this is a cloud service. So as Nicola mentioned, this is the service we are now providing cloud. So there is no technical challenges here. It's just a login and ingesting the data you have from the data source, and everything is consolidating in this web portal. So what we are doing here, again, for our use case, is to be focused on the financial division to retrieve all the, at the end, HR information, but as well all the access information for the migration. So when I'm logging here, I can see the context of myself as an IT security security operational. This is the list of my own access. And you can see that in Brainwave here on the left, we can retrieve lots of concepts around the access management. So we have the detail of accounts, of the groups you can have on your repositories, the context as well about HR, so identity and organization, everything related to application and permission.
So it's the force actually of this kind of tools is to be able to correlate and consolidate any data from any source to mix it all together and to consolidate everything and get some really very interesting analysis. Emmanuel, you are going to show us.
Yes, actually, Brainwave is designed over a data cube. It means that all the links, all the relationship between the different concepts we have just seen here are already configured. So the matter is not starting from scratch to say, oh, which account belongs to this identity, etc. All the links are already created. And the challenge when you are ingesting data is just fitting the box. So at the end here, you can see that when I filter on the financial division, I have the list of all people belonging to this organization. And you can, at least here, notice that some of the people doesn't have any HR code. So this is, it can be first here an issue about the data quality. So how can I manage those people into my AM system without any HR code, unique HR code? So this is something I can work on with the HR division. If we look at one user, one person, one individual working for the financial division here, the tool show all the different metadata we have ingested for this user. So you can retrieve information about employee type, if the user is active or not, the leave date, if there is a scheduled leave date, who is the manager of this user, and his position into the organization as the job. We have some risk level and risk rank on the right side as well, but let's speak about that later. And in terms of the context, everything related to HR and the information we are consolidating, we can check the context of this user. So you have all the colleagues, and if this user is a manager, we can have all the people belonging to the team. And if you see here, we have some KPIs to highlight newcomers into the team. So compared to the previous data ingestion, because those kind of identity analytics tools are working on snapshots of data. So compared to the last ingestion, we can notice that there is two newcomers in the team. And this is a good opportunity to compare the access of those two people. So very easy in one click, and can compare the access between two people doing the same job. And I can notice that one of the user, which is the new one, Jenna Lumber, is new in the team, but she has many more access only assigned to her compared to Heather. So it means that this user maybe have some access related to her previous position. So we need to remove those access if she's not still performing this. And it's a first data cleanup to remove those access before the migration into the IAM system. Just need to export this CSV file and you can deal with that with your administrators. Coming back into the identity in the context of Samantha Schwartz. Sorry for that.
Actually, the tool is quite fast. We can display analysis quite easily. There is almost no delay apart from the connection issues you may have.
Yes. Here is the details of the different accounts this user have across the organization on the different applications. So here we can notice that even if it's Samantha Schwartz with different kind of logins, sometimes those are numbers, sometimes the typo is not the same, but Brainwave has the strength, the power to match all those accounts with this individual, this identity. And this is really something central in Brainwave to do the mapping between the HR world and the IT world. Because at the end, you can have this kind of graph where you have the identity and all the keys here are the accounts across the systems. So you can have information about to which application the user has access with which kind of permission, but you can show as well groups. You can show folders because definitely the identity analytics tools are dealing with any kind of data, so you can ingest shared folders for that. And
so it's definitely something that you have the exhaustivity of the all the accesses this identity has compared
yes,
to
definitely.
what you could get on the IAM system.
Definitely. So this is really oriented for taking the best decision, because if you want to know exactly on SAP here what's the user have, you have here the list of the permission. So it's very graphical and very easy to get and to represent the links between all those concepts. Coming back to the organization information now, because at the end what we are interested in is the list of access of all people belonging to this organization. So I'm selecting the financial division. And here, what is very interesting here is the risk for this financial division. Working on those risks to reduce the number of risks is also working on improving the data quality. So the identity analytics is providing here a list of controls, and the result of those controls on users and highlighting the discrepancies. So for instance here, this control is looking to active accounts belonging to people who have left the company. So this is very critical. And we can notice here there are two users, two identities who have left the company, but they have 6 accounts which are still active. So we can work on that and clean up all those accounts, disable all those accounts to improve the data quality of regarding my organization. And there are also SOD controls with some issues, etc. So if I'm working on those to resolve, to fix those controls issues, I can as well improve my data quality. So at the end, when I'm looking to my organization access here, I have a complete view of the full list of access rights of people belonging to this organization. So once I have worked on fixing all those control issues, I can reingest the data into my brainwave tool and check the last and final controls. And if I'm comfortable with this list of access to migrate, I can export it through Excel or CSV and provide information to the AAM system for the deployment of this financial division. And once it's in the IAM system, we have controls. So those controls are related to the run of the AAM. So as you can notice here, there are two tabs. One of the tabs is talking about the access granted to IAM system. So it means that we have ingested here IAM information into Brainwave to check what are the access granted through IAM to a user. So it concerns here SAP. And we can notice here that the scope of the IAM is only focused on SAP here. We don't have the full scope as Brainwave provided around other applications like Cachepooler, Elixo, etc. So the other list of access we have mentioned. But we can notice as well that the information coming from AM system compared to the reality in the SAP system, we have some discrepancies today. And we can notice that General Number has some over-allocated rights compared to AM. So we need to deal with those rights. We need to understand why she has those rights in SAP and they are not listed into AM system. So we need to fix that, and this is the best way to take a decision.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems that anyway, once you connect an application or a system or whatever to an IAM system, there are always some discrepancies like this, the one you just saw, we just saw on SAP. So it's really important to have an application that is able to highlight these discrepancies to be able to sort these issues. So either feed them into the IAM system or revoke them if they're not supposed to be allocated. So
to a data source, yes. Yes, even if we have a complete synchronization between the IAM system and the data source, I mean the systems, there are always some errors, some connections and etc. So some discrepancies are showing up. So we need, and usually IAM system are providing this kind of they are calling like reconciliation module, but Brainwave has the ability to extend this the power of this reconciliation by providing metadata about when the access has been requested, when the access has been granted into the application, because we are consolidating data days after days, week after weeks, etc. in the tool. So definitely identity analytics is more a decision-oriented tool to govern AIM system.